Hi, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your January 25th, 2024 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. It helps this channel out tremendously, and it gets this channel seen by the YouTube algorithm. So, thank you all so very much for doing so. So, let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels. Oh, goodness. Okay. So we have the Strength card. Oh, wow. This is so cool. You're the first to be crowned by the Strength card. And this is the Leo full moon. So Leo is represented by the Strength card in the major arcana. And then you have the Empress, the Four of Cups. Interesting. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Oh, wow. The Emperor and the Empress. I love that. Okay, I'm excited. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Okay, we have the Seven of Wands reversed, and then we have the Eight of Cups and Justice coming into play. Okay, this is an exciting reading. I like to say that you are so far you have Justice in the upright position, which has been very rare in these readings. I think there are a few other signs that had Justice in the upright position. Justice is Libra energy. So if you're born, I was going to say on the cusp with Libra, but you can't be. If you have Libra in your chart, if you have Libra in your lives, that comes through very positively. Just as with Leos, if you have Leo in your chart, Leo in your life, that comes through very positively, as well as with Aries. Aries in your chart, Aries in your life, coming through very, very positively during this time. The Emperor and the Empress, highest, that's true couple goals, okay? So here, with the Emperor and the Empress coming into play, same deck, from the same deck, in a reading, this is astounding. This is absolutely beautiful. You could be meeting your soulmate, just to let you know. Will you know you're meeting your soulmate? No, you won't. If you're looking at a relationship, you can also be finding yourself on a path that once you see yourself on this path, it's going to be a path that kind of spirit drags you kicking and screaming on. You're going to find that it leads you to a soulmate connection. Now, that can be through love, that can be a love romance, that can be finding something that you are just absolutely in love with. You're like, wow, this is my calling. This is part of my purpose here on this earthly plane. It can be a business partnership. It can be a friendship, but it can also be just finding something that you're like, I love this. I love this. And I am so excited. Now, with the Seven of Wands, you're releasing fighting. This is going to be a time where you realize you're like, wow, I spent a lot of my energy fighting, holding my ground, holding, to this, holding to that. And now I'm letting it go because I will fight for what I believe in. Absolutely. I will stand up for what I believe in. But coming to everything with this battle energy, it's kind of like Mother Teresa said. She said, now that I go to quote her, it flies out of my head. Oh, anti-war rallies. She says, I will not walk in your anti-war, but I will walk for peace. If you have a rally for peace, I'll be there. But if you have a rally that is anti-war, I will not be there. And that's the energy that Spirit is saying, be mindful of the words that we are using. Be mindful of the way that we are connecting. With the Eight of Cups, we're going to see that we're walking away from something we once thought we would love. It's like the time has come to an end. And we're coming to a understanding of that. And that's going to be very important. It's like, okay, I thought I'd like this. I thought I'd love this. I thought this would be it, but it's not. Now, this can also be an end of a relationship. So we can have a relationship here starting, right? And a relationship ending. So just be aware of that. Okay. But also be aware of karma. So just be aware. But if you're in a relationship and you're like, Dane, I don't like this. I don't like this. I like my relationship. It's also that you're tightening your bond, right? You're bound to each other more and more. It's like, okay, this is us. Right? We're committed. We're connected. Spirit is going to be taking you on a path that you didn't expect. You're not going to want to. You're going to be thinking, I'm supposed to be focusing over here. And Spirit's going to be like, no, you're supposed to be over here. So it's miles apart from each other, but it's going to be so important. So just be aware of this during this time that we're going to think, no, this is the main thing that I have to be focusing on, whatever that proverbial this is. And Spirit's like, no, you need to be looking over here. You need to be connecting with this. We're going to find that an ending is coming in. Now, this is an ending as severe as a divorce. This could be a leaving a job. This is just an ending. It's like that door is closing, and I just hear that door closing and almost slamming. It's like I'm slamming my door on this. I do not want this. I do not need this. And I do see a bit of an anger around that. So just be aware. Just be aware during this time. Justice coming into play. We're finding justice and balance. But do understand that that doesn't mean that we can be just and fair to everyone. And I know that's not what we want to hear. We want to hear that everybody will always be happy if we are just and fair. And here's the thing. It's not the case. It's the song. My mom would always play this when I was little. And I think it's like Went to a Garden Party is the name of the song. And it says you can't please everyone, so you have to please yourself. It's not being egotistic. It's not being self-centered. But it is, if you make your life out of just making everybody else happy and doing everything for everybody else, first of all, people will conflict on what, makes them happy. Just like, oh, I like this food. No, I like this food. The favorite foods usually don't always, align. So here, just the balance, the harmony is going to be so important. If we take harmony, love, and peace and make those our guidance, like when we are out of harmony, when things are in discord, just being aware of that is going to be really important. Strength. This is the full moon in Leo. It's going to be so important, the strength that we are moving in during this time. And strength is not the, muscle building, I can lift a car type of strength that we tend to really honor in our waking world. It's like, oh, that person looks stronger. Oh, that person has all that power. Whenever I see the strength card, I always think of my great grandma, who was in her 90s when I was little. And I think she was the strongest person I ever knew. And I think of that. And I think that sometimes the people who have the most strength in them are the people you'd absolutely overlook. You'd absolutely think, I'm not in their prime, not physically in their prime, not able to, command all this power, all this authority type of thing. And yet that isn't what makes them strong at all. And I don't think that's what necessarily makes us strong as individuals. So let's see here what Spirit has to say. And if you're interested in entering to receive a free reading, put a snowflake in the comment box below. A person will be chosen at random. On the 1st of February, a video will go up announcing the winner, announcing the instructions. So keep your eyes open for that. And do not be scammed by anybody contacting you in the comment box saying, hooray, it will not be me. So be aware. And if you are interested in purchasing a private reading, a private personalized meditation, or a healing, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. Here we have nature. Embrace your nature. It's interesting, Sagittarius. I'm just seeing, I should be something else. So you're going to look at your God-given, universe-given talents, your life purpose here on this earth, the song of your soul. And you're going to be thinking, it's not like that person's, and it's not like that. And that's not what success is. And why are we letting other people dictate what success is and what it isn't? Embracing our nature, embracing our soul and ourself, that's sacredly important. And we're going to see that moving us forward during this time. Embrace your nature. Some people's nature is to be in the middle of everything, and some people's nature is to be very quiet. Some people's nature, is very scientific, very, problem solving. And some people's nature is very creative. We can't make ourselves be the other person. What did Oscar Wilde say? Be yourself, everybody else is taken. Let's see what Spirit has to say about the chakras, angels, and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading. Okay, interesting. We're out of balance with our inner child. That's that's rather clear. Okay, so our heart chakra has our inner child, and then we have our root chakra is our balance. So just being very aware of this during this time, that we are out of balance with our inner child. And it's going to be very easy. It's not, well, yeah, it's rather easy to find that balance, or to see, am I out of balance, or am I in balance with my inner child? The simple meditation of taking a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you, and visualizing yourself as the adult you are today, holding your arms open to the child that you were, and letting that child run into your arms, and saying, I love you, I believe in you, I will protect you, I am protecting you, and I will always be here for you. See what happens. Do you think, dang straight? Yes. Or do you think, oh my gosh, nobody's ever said that to me before? Connecting with our inner child, opening our heart to the child that we were. So often we have our scars, and it's the wound of Chiron. So the wound of Chiron is our original wound. We can think of it kind of like original sin, if you want to think of it as that story or that, belief system, if you want to. And if you don't, that's totally cool. But thinking of it as like, this is the burden I am born with. This is the wound. And we can see this if you look at your natal chart, okay? And there are sites online. You can see where your Chiron falls. And then see what that means. Like there are things, oh, I forget. There are apps that you can get that will tell you what your Chiron is. Okay? And then when you look at that, that's your wound. And that's where all other wounds will be built off of. And you'll see that that's like a thread going through your life. So when you connect with that inner child, when you connect with that wound, because our purpose here on this earthly plane is to heal that wound, we will find our lives absolutely transform as we heal that wound of Chiron. So coming back into balance with our inner child, coming back into balance with ourselves is going to be sacredly important. It's just going to be something that we find is sacred, is powerful, is purposeful, is transformative, is informative, is so much more than we could possibly believe. It moves us then to our energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is the Seven of Swords. Be mindful of lies. I mean, seriously, be mindful of lies. And that comes out in the astrology. We'll get to that in just a moment. Okay. So let's see how the astrology of this time correlates with the tarot. We have the full moon on January 25th. And it is in Leo. It's at 5 degrees, 14 minutes of Leo. And what is being asked of this moon is what is this bringing closure to? Okay, what is being brought to closure during this time? And you're going to see something is happening, something is stirring. The strength comes from the discomfort that we are going to be in before the full moon. It's going to be especially strong, like right before the full moon. And Leo is the heart energy. And I know I'm not dissing Leo, okay? I want to make this perfectly clear. I love Leos. I have a lot of Leos in my life. But whenever I think of Leos, I don't think heart energy. I think drama. I'm like, oh my gosh. And it can be, that I like to keep things very calm, but I can also be very drama filled, and that can be something in myself that I don't like. So that can be it, most definitely. But there is also the sense of Leos love drama. They just do. They're the sun. They're the spotlight, But when we have it linked to the heart energy, and it can be like the drama can be all around fully realizing the heart. It can be all the chaos before fully settling into the heart. So see where the drama comes up during this time, Sagittarius. Leo is the heart. Aquarius, its sister sign, which is where the sun is the head. So we're in Aquarius time frame, right? We're in a Leo full moon. They can get along brilliantly. These are your sister signs. So like the best sisters in the world, or like sisters who are always fighting with each other. So do be aware of this. We have the linking of the head and the heart. Leo is the sign of the king and of sovereignty. Okay, it is the statement, I know who I am and I know where I create from, which I think is the most powerful statement. Being crowned with the strength card, I know where I create from. I know my sovereignty, my soul and myself, and I know my connection with the universe and the universal energy I create and move forward in. So just excuse me, I'm going to cough. I do apologize. Okay. Then we have the dwarf planet Verona. Now, Verona is conjunct the moon. This is very powerful moral compass energy. Okay, we see lies coming out. It's going to be very important. This is very Leo energy as well. Moral integrity, truth, and justice. This is going to be justice where people have told lies. We're going to see lies, like be mindful of the lies, but we're also letting go of them. We're like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. And that's also what we're walking away from. It's like, no, I'm not playing this game anymore. Things being brought down to earth, being more real, more, it's like, okay, let's get out of the chaos or the, extravagance of it all, bring it down to earth, bring it down to center. We then have the dwarf planet Gungkung. Gungkung is about 5 degrees of Pisces, and this is linked to flooding. We'll see this on the earthly plane. I can see this, close to where I live. There's been flooding, and we can see this, on the world map. But this is also the channeler of a lot of psychic energy that's coming down to earth. Again, bringing it all down to earth during this time. We can feel overwhelmed by the psychic energy, but we are starting to look at things differently, and we are starting to welcome this change. So there's, again, something we're walking away from, and it's the sense that I always have to fight. I always have to be on. Our energy has been like this, and just hold your fist like this. It's exhausting. Let it go. Let yourself step into your energy, your power, your desire to move forward. Again, I'm going to cough. Oh, I do apologize. And of course, I forgot a glass of water. Okay. Then we have the fixed grand cross. Okay. This is the sun at 5 degrees of Aquarius, the moon at 5 degrees of Leo, and Jupiter of 6 degrees of Taurus. This is opposing Hume, which is at 2 degrees of Scorpio. This is enormous determination. Okay. We have strength. We have the Empress. We have the Emperor. We even have justice. Enormous determination coming forward. This is the grit to see things through. This is like, I know what I'm going after. I know what I'm seeing. I know what I want. Now, if you want to dive deeper into the astrology of it all, check out Pam Gregory here on YouTube. I have her linked in the description box below. She's brilliant. So just know that even though we have this urge of determination, of fire, of everything, because Spirit is moving us in a direction that we're like, no, I want to be over here. Like, I want things to go like this. And Spirit's like, no, look at it this way. Stop it. And it's almost going to feel like we're getting scolded like a small child. So just be aware of this, that we're going to be pulled to look at something. And we're like, no, don't you understand? This is what's important right now. And Spirit's like, listen to me. Connect with me. You have to start to see this. And so we're going to be pulled out of, I wouldn't even call it our comfort zone, but it's like our stubborn zone right now. We're going to be pulled out of our stubborn zone, Sagittarius. We then have Jupiter T squared the full moon. Now, this is going to magnify anything we're going through. So the good, magnified. The bad, magnified. Be aware of this. If you're going to, you'll find yourself saying, like, this is so intense. Like, why is everything so, like, blown up? It's the full moon in Leo. It's magnifying everything. It's a spotlight. It's like, you're welcome. You're a superstar. Everything you're doing, you're center stage of. The sun is conjunct Pluto. With Leo being this center stage energy, okay, we see secrets coming to light regarding people of prominence. Now, we'll see this regarding people, celebrities, people on TV, politicians, all that stuff. But I also see this as people in prominence in our lives. So just be aware. We have Mercury conjunct Mars in Capricorn. We're very quick thinking. We have a very quick mind. Capricorn is great for long-term thinking, so that's awesome. We're really good at long-term plans during this time, looking at things, moving things forward, but be mindful of sharp words, especially online, especially around anonymity. Okay, so we can see this if we're writing emails to people. We might be a lot more sharp than if we're, talking to somebody face to face or even on the telephone. So the ways that Spirit is saying, during this moon, communicate as much as as in person as you can. Whether that's, talking to the person face to face, that would be the best, but over Zoom, over the phone, that's going to be super important. Now, Venus is quadrant Uranus. So some volatility around money can come up. Just be mindful about this. During this time, you are very much of a powerhouse. So that could be muting this for you. So just be aware, but just be aware some volatility around money. There's also the dwarf planet Ixion, which is at 5 degrees of Capricorn conjunct Venus. And we've talked about this before, but it's so powerful. It bears repeating. Okay, we are being asked the question, are the rules we are playing by the right ones? Are the rules we are playing by the right ones? How are we conducting our life and why? Move forward in love. If love is not on your center, if love is not getting you forward, let it go. Move forward in love. Remember, Leo loves drama. Just be reminded of that, okay? And we're moving towards February, of course, and this is going to be an electric month for us. So let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Change, yeah. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels. Okay. I have a bonus card coming through. I left because we have patience reversed. Are we patient? No. You know who also isn't patient? Scorpio. So if you're born on the cusp with Scorpio or you have Scorpio in your chart, just be mindful. You might be really impatient during this time. Okay. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Cool. All right. So we have change. This full moon, the strength, having the spotlight on us, this Leo energy is going to bring a huge amount of change. Take time to breathe out. It's going to be so important. Focusing on our breath is one of the cheapest and easiest ways to get ourselves centered in our bodies. So just be aware of that. Take time to breathe out, because that's going to be something we don't want to do. We are going to actually find ourselves holding our breath during this time. We're going to find ourselves holding on to things. And Spirit's like, let it go. Let it go. That's going to be a game changer for us. Now, nothing will come of this situation. That's interesting, because that's the void of course. Now, the void of course happens multiple times throughout a lunar cycle. So for a lunar cycle is the new moon to the full moon. And we're going to see that it's either, you can look up when the void of courses are, they happen for just a few minutes. Again, multiple times throughout a lunar cycle. I have friends who don't do anything during a void of course. They're like, nope, nothing goes right. And things do. Everything goes pear-shaped. Like you'll think, oh, it'll happen like this. It'll happen not exactly the opposite. It'll happen in ways that you can't imagine. So nothing will come of the situation is, don't make plans. Don't sit there and look at this. Empress energy, highly creative energy, birthing forward what we want into the world, creative, nurturing, powerful energy coming forward. I also always think of the Empress Theodora. Okay, she was the wife of the Emperor Justinius. I think so. In ancient Rome. Now, this was a time when Rome was burning. Now, Theodora was supposed to be one of the most beautiful women, of course, in all the world. She actually rose up the ranks from being a concubine to being an empress. So that was quite a feat for her, or for anybody, really. And when Rome was burning, her husband the emperor was going to go on a boat and was going to let Rome burn and just leave it. And she said, no, I'm not going. And if you leave, I'm now the empress. I'm now the sole ruler. And, we'll declare you dead or something like that. Like, don't come back. And so he didn't leave. And I see that here, like our pleasure is going to be in standing our ground, in finding our purpose, in finding where we stand, even if it seems unlikely. And even though what we think is going to come of a situation isn't, a girl who starts off as a concubine does not think that she's going to become an empress. The most extraordinary things can happen. And so that energy of the Empress, the creative, powerful energy that's coming forward, don't think you know where it's going to take you. Go along for the ride. It brings us to surrendering to the divine during this full moon. We are going to find that we want things to go a certain way. And we have that very strong inclination during this time. But following peace, calming down ourselves and centering ourselves and surrendering to the divine, because that's what we're being asked to do with the Four of Cups. That's going to be a game changer. And we're going to see ourselves moving in the direction that we hadn't imagined. Now, you and your loved ones are safe is reversed. We don't know. Now, we can look at this and say, nobody knows, right? Nobody knows the time or the place, not to get morbid on us. But to sit there and say, I want everything to be just so, that can be maddening. So just knowing that I trust in the divine universe and I trust in my universal connection with the Emperor, it's like I'm doing my best. An emperor cannot assure that every single one of his subjects is going to be okay. But I'm doing my best. The purity of intention is coming forward. When purity comes forward, it's looking at things. It's like right after it snows, right? And you have that right there with all that snow coming forward. But right after it snows, when everything is just quiet and the birds start singing again, in that quiet, of the world just kind of like slowing down and calming down. And then the birds start singing and it starts echoing off the snow. And it becomes beautiful in its simplicity. And it's like monochromatic color, of like everything being white, everything being coated in something that is so beautiful, so deadly, so much. So here, it's so important. It's the purity of our intention. It's looking at things kind of all one way and connecting with our power, connecting with our insight, connecting during this time with the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine within us. Do we have patience? No, we don't. Just be aware of this. We want everything yesterday. If we could snap our fingers and have everything done and learn all the cool skills, my gosh, we would do that. I mean, who wouldn't? Come on. We don't want to be bold and make the first move. We're tired. We feel on edge. You might actually feel like you might have gotten the flu, or you might have, gotten a really bad headache and then your whole body aches afterwards, when you have a really, really bad headache. Something like that could have happened. Or you could just feel like, your shoulders hurt, your head hurts. You can be a bit achy. And that's because energetically you're holding on to too much. And Spirit's like, be patient with yourself. Slow it down and connect. You're also going to know super healthy things to do for yourself. You're going to be like, no, like I don't want to sleep anymore, or I don't want to eat healthy foods, or I'm going to drink a whole bunch of like, soda or something like that. And it's like, okay, be kind to you. That's going to be important as well. Because I find, now this could just be a me thing, but I don't think I'm very unique at all. You can find that when like you start to lose patience with yourself and you start to get frustrated, then you start to say, well, I just want to eat those cookies and I just want to do this and I just want to do that. And it's like, okay, that's great. But is it going to help you, or are you just trying to soothe yourself? Your hard work is paying off. It is. You're walking away from something that isn't you anymore, and you're blossoming into yourself. You're blossoming into the person that you need to be. And it's going to be transformative. It's like, oh, that's me? Like, oh, that's it? Like, wow. A new romantic cycle begins, and you're bringing into fruition that which is just and fair for you, that which is, beautiful and powerful for you. It brings us then, to also the release of fear. This is going to be a big one for this moon. We're looking at fear, and that's one thing with Leo energy, very much like, Gryffindor energy. Like, I'm going to look that fear dead in the eye and I'm going to conquer it. And so here we're looking at fear and we're like, no. Or we're looking at what we're afraid of and it's like, okay, I see you. Okay, I get you, but you don't get to rule me. And that's a game changer. Our subconscious spirit message is luminous. And this is reverse. We have to remember to let ourselves shine like the full moon. This full moon is the wolf moon. This full moon brings out what we hunger for. This full moon moves us forward. And to let us shine in that energy is beautiful. To let ourselves be consumed by that energy can be overwhelming. Our subconscious spirit message is nurturing. This is the Earth Star chakra, located 6 inches below our feet. We need to nurture our souls and our spirits and ourselves like we would a child. We wouldn't look at a baby and start yelling at it for not being able to walk, right? Like a baby that's just born, that would be ridiculous. If we saw somebody yelling at a baby, like, why can't you use a spoon and why can't you walk? You'd be like, well, that person has issues and needs help, Why are we yelling at ourselves for things that we think we should be able to do, but our spirit isn't ready for? It's like yelling at a newborn that they can't walk. It's ridiculous. And yet we do it. Ground yourself in nurturing and in caring. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the 7 of Cups. We need to be mindful, first of all, falling into dreams, of the thought of something becoming more real than the reality of it. And we also need to be mindful of illusions and delusions during this time. Our subconscious what is this? Tarot. There we go. That's what we've been doing the whole time. Tarot energy is the 10 of Pentacles reversed. We are going to be breaking a curse. We're going to be looking at things that aren't going right, that aren't moving us forward, and we're going to be releasing them. But subconsciously, we can think to ourselves, that's the way it always is. Nobody in my family gets to have a happy marriage, or nobody in my family gets to, be this, or nobody in my family gets to be that. I just, whatever it is, gets to be successful, gets to be prosperous. Money is the root of all evil, or you only get to be to a certain level of success, but you're not your sister. So you're never going to be truly successful, and you're never going to be as, strong and powerful as your brother. So why do you even try? Whatever we tell ourselves, that we sit there, that are curses, that are spoken over us. A curse is a lie that we believe. Or maybe it was true. Maybe you were like me, a little bit blind, a little bit deaf as a child. And so you were never going to make it, right? And you still hold that energy, even though you've had eye operations and ear operations, and that's gone. But there's still that fear there. What curses are hanging over you that take time to heal? Not only cognitively, but emotionally and spiritually. Be aware, but be aware also that there are people on the other side who desperately want you to achieve, who see that you have options that seriously they could have even have dreamt of. Even your past life self. When you look at this, when you meditate on this incarnation, all the ways to move forward, all the marvels, yes, good and things that can be corrupted, absolutely. But look at the world now. Let go of the curses. From whatever life, for whatever reason, from this life, from past lives, from anything, let go of the curses. From your father, from your mother, from whomever raised you, let go of the curses. Our subconscious spirit, Luna message, but message from spirit is beauty. And adjustments are required. We're going to want to see beauty in one way. It's it has to be this. And spirit's okay, cool. But let the beauty come in. I have to tell you, with this card, when I first started using this deck, which is called the Queen of the Moon deck, I did not see that this was a face. This is the outline of the face, the eye, the nose, the mouth. I didn't. I just thought, beauty. Okay, cool. It's a beautiful scene, nature, awesome. But to see the face come forward, hidden beauty in things. And it's taking time to slow things down, but it's also realizing, okay, spirit will reveal it when it's right. So just be aware of that, Sagittarius. Adjustments are required. Are we going to want to make them? No, we're good. Just like we don't want to change the way that we're seeing things. But we're going to, and we're going to be surprised that we're going to. All right, Sagittarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy, as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. I'm sorry, my mic just fell. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Sagittarius. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. And have a blessed moon. Bye.